My dear Mr. Winston, the request which you have just made of me to receive the record of my wife is one which I carefully comply with so far as it lies in my power.
I have gladly accepted the invitation to speak to you in this unusual manner at a time when I am anxious that my words should reach as many of my fellow countrymen as possible.
No human system is perfect, but the system of free ports, with all its faults, has built up for us the greatest international trade in the world, the greatest shipping in the world, the greatest aggregation of ports in the world, the greatest export of manufactured goods per head of the population in the whole world.
Every voter must remember that the future destinies of the country and of the empire rest upon his or her decision.
My friends, we are beginning a contest which will be one of the most historical in the story of our country. Our country, in the course of its history, has had to meet many storms and many stresses, but it has always come out successfully by the courage and the determination of our people.
Which will probably be a fateful one in the history of the world. The oceans of the world have been swept clear of German shipping. The members of that government do not hesitate to say that they desire to achieve the ruin of the British Empire. And no doubt, they would rejoice if they could treat us as they're treating the victims who are already within their grip.
But I am here to tell you that we will wage that war side by side with you in accordance with the best strategic employment of our forces while there is breath in our bodies and while blood flows in our veins.
Tirelessly worked to try and get one world. He strove that there should not be a division between East and West, or between Europe and America, or Europe, America, and Asia. No one could have toiled more.
The meeting of the NATO powers in Paris is an important event. It has also become an annual event. Every December, the 14 powers, who are the member states of NATO, meet together, review the military work of the past year, and prepare their programs for the next.
We have a difficult task before us in this country, all of us, and it will need our courage and our strength. And we shall need the sympathy and the goodwill and understanding of everyone in the country, whatever their party or beliefs. I believe we shall have that sympathy, and I'm certain that with the efforts of all, we can succeed.
Because we are engaged, as you know, far afield in trying to help to maintain stability and order, which is, I know, your concern too, as a great power.
In terms of the scientific revolution, but that revolution cannot become a reality unless we are prepared to make far-reaching changes in economic and social attitudes which permeate our whole system of society. The Britain that is going to be forged in the white heat of this revolution will be no place for restrictive practices or for outdated methods on either side of industry.
On Monday, I shall announce to Parliament the measures which we judge necessary in this present situation. In these last few weeks, we have shown ourselves energetic and resolute in the search for an agreement in the tripartite talks between the government, the CBI and the TUC.
Because I believe in the people, and I believe that they will understand why we are doing it. We've pointed a straight course. I want the people's support. Although I naturally want to win the election, I shall do my best to win the election. I want to win it as honestly as possible. And if that means having a tough budget, I don't want it. I'll do my best to keep control of the other factors, but we'll have to have it.
Mr. Speaker, all levels of income are better off than they were in 1979. But what the honourable member is saying is that he would rather the poor were poorer, provided the rich were less rich. That way you will never create the wealth for better social services as we have. And what a policy! Yes, he would rather have the poor poorer, provided the rich were less rich. That is the Liberal policy. Yes, it came out, he didn't intend it to.
During those 3 years, there have been repeated threats of a leadership election. In each year, they turned out to be phony threats. Now the same thing again is happening in 1995. I believe it's in no one's interest that this continues right through until November. It undermines the government and it damages the Conservative Party. I am not prepared to see the party I care for laid out on the rack like this for any longer.
It shall be a government rooted in strong values, the values of justice and progress and community, the values that have guided me all my political life, but a government ready with the courage to embrace the new ideas necessary to make those values live again for today's world. A government of practical measures in pursuit of noble causes.
It will come as no surprise to all of you, and it's probably the least well-kept secret of recent years, but the Queen has kindly agreed to the dissolution of Parliament, and a general election will take place on May the 6th.
Across the world, people have been watching the choice that Britain has made. I would reassure those markets and investors that Britain's economy is fundamentally strong. And I would also reassure Brits living in European countries and European citizens living here that there will be no immediate changes in your circumstances.
If the EU believe I will, they are making a fundamental mistake. Anything which fails to respect the referendum or which effectively divides our country in two would be a bad deal. And I have always said, no deal is better than a bad deal.